Yo, what's going on, y'all? Today, Black Ops 6 is finally here, and there are obviously a lot of things coming with Black Ops 6, and Gobblegums, I think, are going to have a huge impact, just like they did in BO3, and I'm going to be ranking every single Gobblegum from worst to best from each rarity, and what I think are going to be the best ones to go for when the game comes out. So let's get right into it. Starting off with the rarity, I think the worst one is probably going to be Temporal Gift. Like, I don't really ever see this being useful. Up next is Arsenal Accelerator. Basically all it does is make you get your field upgrade faster. Next would be Killjoy, where you can spawn an insta-kill. Then at number 4, I would probably choose Cashback, which basically spawns into max ammo, but I don't really see this being useful with all the supply crates that you can get ammo back, so I don't really see this being all that useful like it did in BO3. Then up next would be Stock Option. And then next would be Shields Up, as this would probably help out your armor a lot, and I could see this Gobblegum actually being very useful. And then the best rare Gobblegum I would go for is Anywhere But Here. I could see this being just as good as it was in BO3 when it comes to speed runs and, you know, just getting out of certain situations. So I think it's going to be just as good as it was in BO3. Now going into the epic rarity, I think the worst one would probably be Exit Strategy. I don't really see this being all that useful, especially for taking up a Gobblegum slot. I feel like there are definitely way better options for Gobblegums, unless you want to like get out of your game early, but other than that, I don't really see the use with this Gobblegum. Then up next would be Respin Cycle. Again, I don't really see any use with this other than if you want to get a different gun from your spin on the mystery box. And then next would be Nowhere But Here. I think this would be really good for co-op. And then after that would be Who's Keeping Score. I think this would be really good for the early rounds, especially when it comes to racking up points. So I could see this being pretty useful. Now up next would be Soda Fountain. It's not going to be as good as it was in BO3 where you can just keep on getting perks. I'm pretty sure the way it's going to work now is it only happens once and then it goes away. So that kind of sucks, but I still think it's still going to be pretty good. Then next would be Profit Sharing. This one was good in BO3. I think it's going to be good again, especially in co-op. Now I think the best epic Gobblegum will probably be Free Fire. I could see this being really, really good in like high round strategies. So if you're doing that, going for high rounds, I think Free Fire will probably be one of the best Gobblegums to use, especially for the epic rarity. Now going into the legendary Gobblegums, and I think the worst one will probably be Wall-to-Wall Clearance. I don't really ever found this one, useful. It wasn't really all that great. But up next is Idle Eyes. This one was pretty good in BO3, and I think this one will be just as good as it was in BO3. Then up next would be Crate Power. I could see this being really well, especially with the Pack-a-Punch system. Then up next would be Phoenix Up. Again, this one was good in BO3 when it comes to co-op and doing boss fights or Easter eggs, and I could see this being just as good as it was in BO3. So if you're playing co-op, I would definitely go for this Gobblegum. Then up next would be Immolation Liquidation. Up next is On the House. You get a free perk. It was good in BO3. I think it'll be good in BO6. Number 1 will probably be Wall Power. Again, this one's pretty good for speedrunning when you're just trying to get a quick pack-a-punch weapon. So it was good in BO3. It's going to be good in BO6 as well. Now let's get into the ultra rarity, the really good Gobblegums. And I think the worst one is probably going to be Wonder Bar. And the reason why I say that is I don't think this one's going to be all that useful, other than it's going to be good for like speedruns, trying to get the Wonder Weapon quick for the Easter egg. But other than that, I don't really see how this, would be useful for a, Gobblegum slot. I feel like there are definitely way better options that you could do for when it comes to, like for high rounding. But if you're doing like a fast speed run Easter egg, I think this Gobblegum will be pretty good. And the next one, just like Wonder Bar, I think Hidden Power is probably going to be really good for Easter eggs where you're just trying to get a setup really quick. Basically what it does is that you get your legendary gun like instantly. It makes your gun legendary instantly. So I don't really see this one being all that useful unless you're trying to do like a quick setup, gets the action instantly. But again, if you're doing for like high rounds, I don't see this one being all that useful. And then at number 3 is probably going to be Raindrops. This one was really good in BO3, and I think it's going to be even better in BO6, especially when it comes to like getting your armor back or getting a max ammo, or it was insane in BO3, and I think it's going to be insane again in BO6. And then up next is Near Death Experience. Again, this one was amazing in BO3. It's going to be really good in BO6 when it comes to doing the boss fights or doing the Easter egg, or even going for high round. This one is just overall good for any situation. It's the best Gobblegum, or at least one of the best Gobblegums to go for. So I see this one being really good as well. And at the number 1 spot, the best Gobblegum to go for is going to be Perkaholic. I see this one being really good in BO6, especially with how expensive the perks are going to be and how many perks there are on the map. I see this one being way better than it was on BO3, and especially when the DLC cycle goes on, when we get even more perks. By the end of the year, we're probably going to have like maybe 12 perks. So by the end of the year, Perkaholic is still going to be the best Gobblegum, as you get every single perk instantly. So I see this being really, really good, especially for doing Easter eggs. Going for high rounds, I don't really see this one being all that useful. You could make an argument that near-death experience could be better, but I just see, like, for when it comes to speedrun, Easter eggs, you know, trying to get in the game, you know, set up quick, I think Perkaholic is the Gobblegum to go for, and that's just my opinion, and I see this one being really, really good in BO6, just like it was in BO3. But anyways, if you guys did find this video useful, make sure to like and subscribe, and I will be live streaming tomorrow on August 24th for the release of Black Ops 6, so come check me out if you want to. But anyways, if you guys did enjoy the video, make sure to like and subscribe. I'll see y'all in the next one.